I'm gonna talk about why do you want creating a safe access into your app when you are a SaaS provider, and how you can do it with HashiCorp Vault. So I'm Thomas, and I'm working for the Tulip OpenILM project, which is basically an application to help you build software and manage your project. It's project management stuff. It's an open source software, and I like Alpaca, but I think it's mostly relevant for today. So a bit of context. We are a SaaS provider. We are providing Tulip as a service for easy use for all our customers, and we are also the main contributor of the product. So we have ways to build stuff for the product easily for just this usage. It's a web-based application, so we got REST API in PHP, and we propose something with its single-tenant SaaS. So each customer got its own application and can do almost everything with it, and we do not have interaction between clients. So each instance is really independent. And we also provide support, so we get emails sometimes that just tell us that thing does not work, and we need to fix it, but we don't have any more details. So sometimes we need to access the customer instance to see by ourselves what's going on and to help the customer fix the issue. So creating an access in your customer instance is a bit hard because you need to really do as much as possible to protect it. You do not want to leak information, to leak potential access to other people, because all your customer data are really you are protecting your customer's data. So you do not want to maintain unnecessary or permanent access into the application when you don't need it. You don't need to have access to the customer instance. You want to restrict as much as possible who in your team is capable to access the customer instance. And of course, sometimes thing goes bad, and you need a solution to have a contingency plans to be sure you can do as much as possible to protect your customer's data. So basically, you want to know who access the customer's data, the customer instance, when, and that's about it. You need also to keep things really usable, because when you do security, sometimes you really do things that really great on paper, but when you use it every day, it's really hard to do. Really hard to use it, so people are getting a bit angry with it, and you need to find a way to ease the process. So basically, with no SaaS product, we are relying on HashiCorp Vault to do all the secret management. So HashiCorp Vault is a really nice thing that allows you to generate and store secrets, and comes with a lot of things like audit capabilities. Every operation you do on Vault is logged, and you have the possibilities to do really strict access control. So it integrates really easily with all your infrastructure. So basically, if you are an LDAP server, you can authenticate your user, your team member with your LDAP server, or you can use GitHub, or I don't know, there is a lot of things. You can also authenticate things like a pod in Kubernetes, so you can identify people or things in more general matter. The audit capabilities of Vault is really nice because every action is really logged, and you can choose where the information goes. So you can just store it in a basic file, or you can push into syslog or whatever socket you have. So you can, for example, push it directly into Logstash to be able to do some verification and some analysis on what's going on. And from the secret part, HashiCorp Vault has already a lot of things that are already built in. And it has nice, for some backends, there is nice things that is HashiCorp Vault will create for you the secret the user into, for example, your database. So when you need to access the database, you don't need really to have a credential hard-coded into your application, but you can ask Vault to create a specific user for a certain time and just retrieve it directly. So you don't store anymore the credential of the application to access your database, and you can just request it when you need it. It's really nice because even if the credential leak, you can still revoke it, and the application will get another credential to use. So that's really nice, and that's basically what we want to do in our application. But unfortunately, we are not in the built-in secret because we are a specific application. So HashiCorp Vault lets you build your own plugin in your own secret backends to do that. Vault has a support for plugins, and basically you just need basic knowledge of Go to do it. The last version of Vault even exposes a gRPC interface, so you can probably use it with your favorite language as well. So it allows you to create your specific backend to your application. So in our case, we just want to create new user into our application for quick time. And even when you do that, you also get all the nice Vault feature with. So you still have the audit capabilities, the control access, and whatever Vault come with. The only thing you need to do with the Vault plugin, you also need a bit of support in your own application. So if your software does not have ways to create on-demand user, you will just need to extend that to be able to do it. And you will also need a way to authenticate requests coming from Vault. So basically, for our use case, to authenticate requests coming from Vault, we have chosen to rely on public key cryptography. So basically, we generate the private key directly into Vault. So the private key cannot be extracted from Vault; it's directly used from Vault, and only Vault knows the private key. And on all the instances of no customer, we just deploy the public key part. Then when we communicate with Vault, want to communicate with our application to push a new user, it just signs the request, and the request can be verified from the application. This is something that is really quite easy to do now with LabSodom library, which is a modern cryptography, which provides you a way to deal with high-level cryptography primitive. So you can just sign or encrypt data really easily. It's really hard to get wrong with LabSodium. There is bindings in almost every language. Go has it, so it's nice for the Vault plugin. And in our case, PHP has it in the standard libraries in the last version, and there is support in all versions with either an extension or a polyfill to do it. So we almost have we have all the things we need to build it. So how does it work in practice? Basically, when a team member wants to access a customer instance to do, for example, super stuff, you just need to authenticate against Vault. So potentially Vault will use this authentication backend to do it against your LDAP server. You will get a notification token, and from that, you will be able to request an account from Vault. So we will just call Vault with the token and the fully qualified domain name of the platform we want to access. Vault will then just request the creation of of the account of on your application. And so it will pass the username, the password, and an expiration date. So even if the communication is broken between Vault and the instances, the account has not an undefined, it has a limited lifetime. And you will, of course, sign the whole request, so your app will be able to verify the request is really coming from Vault and accept or not the account creation. Once it's done, Vault will retrieve and will give you the username and password, and your team member will be able to authenticate against your customer instance. So this is quite nice because now we have a way to access to customer instances on demand. You don't have a permanent access to it, but you can request it. And you can also revoke if, I don't know, if you leak username and password that has been generated, or if your team member leak its token, or I don't know, the team member is completely compromised. You can just revoke all the existing accounts it has on the different customer instances immediately. So it's quite nice. It's quite centralized. And if things really goes wrong, you can still revoke all the leases you have given to your user and just seal the vault. It's a feature of Vault, so basically Vault will shut down and will stop any operation it's doing. So you will, it will give you some time to it will give you some time to audit the logs and to just see how much damages there has been with the intrusion. So basically, HashiCorp Vault is really nice because you can integrate it with your existing infrastructure really easily. And it gives you highly flexible secret management, so you can either use what's built in, but you can also use what you need. And there is all the audit capabilities and control access that are already built in and really easy to use. The downside of this approach is basically you have one more sensitive endpoint to your software. You have all the verification of the request. If you do something wrong here, potentially the whole thing is completely broken, and so you need to really be careful when you do the implementation. However, it's still better than just add-coded account into your customer instances. So not bad, but still better. In terms of usability, it's only a CLI. We only use the Vault CLI to request the account. So depending on how your team member is liking or not the CLI, it can be a bit hard to use, but there is still nice. You can still use web interface if you have time to build it to make really things easier for your teams. That's all. Maybe I've been a bit short. I don't know.
You have 10 minutes for questions.
I have 10 minutes for questions. Perfect. So.
Should we switch to light?
Yes.
So the slide you had where Vault was creating a secret on your own backend, is that a custom secret thing you built in, or is that one of the out of the box?
No, it's not out of the box. The whole thing, it's Vault does not have a thing for creating. It has thing to creating a PKI and just creating certificates, but it doesn't really have a thing to create the public key, the private key, and just push a request to the application. So it's custom built, yes.
That's just custom plugins, custom
yes.
As well as a list of secrets.
Yes.
Okay. Did that take much coding?
Sorry.
Did that take much code?
If that takes not much code, no, not really. It's really easy to do with Vault. Basically, you just plug a thing into. You just tell Vault to the. Okay, so I want to have a post interface. So okay, just push that and do it. It's really easy. It's I think it's 110 line of code or something like that. So not that much. Yes.
So, can you explain how you did the secret introduction?
How we did the secret introduction into new customer.
Into your customers.
Okay, so basically we don't care. We don't care. It's just the public key. So even if the public key leaks,
You can revoke it.
we can revoke it, but it's a public key. So we can just even display it on the internet. We don't care because with the public key you can't sign the request like if it were coming from Vault. So basically, even if the public key leaks, we don't care.
And where is the private key? Only in
Alors, where is the private key? Yes, the private key is generated directly into Vault. So, in store by Vault. It's generated by Vault and stored by Vault. So basically, the private key never quits Vault, and we does not even know the private key. Yes.
You can use Vault only for this use, or do you use it also for other things in your infrastructure?
Okay, alors, if do we use Vault for anything else in your infrastructure? Yes. In fact, we already have Vault before doing this. We use it for all the secret management. So we use it for databases, for anything that has password, or so we already have the Vault into our infrastructure. Yes.
Here you're boosting an ephemeral account on the target system.
Yes.
How do you link that one with authorization?
Okay, how do we link the account that has been created into a customer instance with basically the team member, and to check it has the right to do it?
You might have restricted rights and not root on everything.
Yes. So basically, it's we rely on Vault to do with that. Since Vault is the only thing that has the private key. It's the only thing that can emit a request to create an account, and you can basically just with the Vault control access, you can just tell, okay, I want those people to have the possibility to use this API. So only those people will be able to call it. But of course, if after a team member just give the username and password that has been generated to another team members, you can't really do something about that. The only thing you can do is to create a really short account on your app. So basically, we create half an hour valid account. So even if the username and password is given to another team member that does not have the authorization, the exposure time will be short. Yes?
Does Vault have any support for the memory encryption functions on the recent CPUs? I'm thinking in a multi-tenant system where your Vault is in the VM, the AMD, and I think Intel has to encrypt the memory of the VM.
Yeah.
All the VMs that we have. Because
Okay.
an inspector to try and reduce the minute-to-minute game.
Yeah. Alors, is Vault has support for material encryption, basically. There is a way to use HCM with Vault. I think with the Vault Enterprise version, we do not use it. There is I don't think there is support for things like AGX or I don't know, or stuff like that. But I don't think there is really a lot of support. Basically, what HashiCorp recommend when you use Vault is to use a bare metal server, and it's the only thing that should run on it. Basically, since it contains all your secrets in your infrastructure, basically just isolate it as much as possible and do not run something else with it. And it's basically the best way to help reducing the potential exposure and the potential issue with that. Yes?
Does it use
Do we use enterprise or the open source version? We only rely on the open source version for now because we are fine with just not having support. If things breaks, okay, things breaks and we know it and we will deal with it. But for now, we do not use the enterprise version. You basically can do all what I've described today with only the open source version. Anything else?
Well,
Okay, perfect.
thank you.